right, tough act to follow here. But we heard that this was the part of the evening when presidents speak, so here we are. 3 generations of Hillel Student Board presidents.
We're honored to be up here today in front of you all. Zach was the Hillel Student President the year before me, and Michael the current president. I feel like I'm the most unlikely student president to be speaking up here out of the 3 of us, but that's the great thing about Hillel. It makes leadership accessible to everyone.
We wanted to share our leadership stories, very different and yet ultimate to the same goal, a strong, inclusive Hillel where all of your students can find themselves.
I'm thrilled to be back here again, not as a student, not as a student intern, but as a guest to share in this special evening, celebrating this organization that has given me so much. My Jewish story begins with my great aunt, Janet Armour, and more specifically, with her theatrical Passover storytelling, complete with costumes, props, and dramatic reenactments. But beneath the theatrics, I learned a deeper lesson, that stories connect us to our past, illuminate our present, and guide us toward a better future. It was the theme of liberation and solidarity in the Passover story that inspired me to take on the role of social impact chair my junior year at Hillel. At the time, I knew only a few blessings, some holiday stories. I wasn't religious, and I wasn't even sure that I was Jewish enough to belong. But at Hillel, I discovered that Jewish tradition doesn't just tolerate the difficult questions. It encourages and even demands them. Like the best classes at ASU, Judaism invites us to wrestle with complexity and engage with diverse perspectives, just like the great Talmudic sages did centuries ago. Now, fast forward to my senior year, my primary task as student president was creating a warm, welcoming, and inclusive Hillel. Inclusion sounds simple, just be welcoming, right? But here's what no one tells you, is that real inclusion takes work. And while it pays off, it is not always easy. When I first joined Hillel, our community was small and tight-knit, a little quirky even, just like me. But during my presidency, we grew a lot. And at times, the changes to our community felt uncomfortable for those of us who have been there for a while. But then, at our student leadership retreat, we poured over Hillel's strategic plan for engaging students from every background, on every corner of every campus, from Greek life students to Barrett students, from the West Valley campus to the Polytechnic campus, and beyond. This document told a compelling story of where we've been and where we're going. It justified the change we were experiencing. It brought our team together and made us proud to lead our inclusive, growing community. And I think that's the biggest leadership lesson that I learned at Hillel. The stories we tell as leaders build our collective vision for the future. This lesson had a profound impact on me, so much so that I decided to make a career out of it. Today, I work as a philanthropy writer at the ASU Foundation, a role in which storytelling and the stories I tell showcase ASU's remarkable impact. Just as the Passover story grounds our Jewish values, the ASU Charter serves as a guiding light for the ASU and Hillel communities. I'm endlessly grateful that Hillel gave me the opportunity to write my chapter of their story, and Hillel will forever be a part of mine.
I never saw myself as a leader in the spotlight. I wasn't the person who could start conversations with strangers. I was the socially awkward one behind the scenes. The Hillel staff saw something in me before I saw it in myself. During my sophomore year, I began having conversations with Hillel leadership about the president role. The staff taught me that leadership isn't about being the loudest in the room, it's about listening, knowing when to step forward, and when to step back to lift others up. Even though it intimidated me, I leaned in and I began preparing to step into the role in the fall. Then, just a few months into my presidency, everything changed. On October 7, 2023, our world was shaken. While on fall break, I woke up that morning to my phone filled with messages and text streams already started by the Hillel staff. Suddenly, leadership meant something entirely different. I quickly had to switch from relaxation to crisis management in minutes. In less than 48 hours, the entire ASU Jewish community had come together, even though we were miles and states apart. Upon returning to school, we held a candlelight vigil on campus with other student organizations, creating a space where hundreds of Jewish students and allies could safely gather and learn together. By Friday, we produced a Solidarity Shabbat held on campus in secure rooms with security present. Little did we know this heightened security would become our new normal. Not long after that first week, separate organizations have now become known as Junity, putting out joint statements and messages, navigating campus protests and anti-Israel activity, and ensuring Jewish students have the resources and support to remain safe. Our rabbi at Hillel helped us consider how we hold both light and dark, plus grief and strength at the same time. My presidency was shaped by this innate Jewish value to hold two seemingly competing yet related emotions at one time. I was taking care of my community in whatever way I could, understanding each student's needs were unique and valued. When I look back at my presidency, I'm proud of the work I accomplished and the community we built. And lastly, I've learned leadership isn't about being fearless. It's about showing up anyways. As I prepare to graduate and step into my career, yes, I'm relieved to have a job lined up after graduation, I have found my voice, my confidence, and the strength to hold space for others who may need us.
My first Jewish leadership position was now at Hillel. As the newly initiated brother ambassador of Alpha Epsilon Phi, which is the Jewish fraternity on campus, I was constantly reminded that the teaching God was a pledge, which was that the most important role to the president, the executive board rather, it was being a brother and being a respectful leadership member. Last year, I started noticing that this applied to my Hillel leadership too. I may not have started as a leader at Hillel, but I was glad to have a place to relax, partake in free food, and really just be myself. And when I started to explore leadership at Hillel in the new year, the staff explained that the strategy as a whole was based on the concept called radical welcome, which is wearing a big smile, welcoming old friends and new, just the same things that I was already doing. I spent my junior year as the VP of Outreach, focusing on grassroots efforts like my own weekly tabling on campus. So, when it was time to think about student leadership for senior year, I looked back at second death, and I knew that the president was the right role for me. I also knew that I had incredibly big shoes to fill. Our Hillel had grown so much between Zach's first year as president of our engagement plan and Beth leading the channels 10-7 and beyond. I needed to figure out what my footprint would be. After many conversations with this year's student board about Jewish students' needs and concerns at Post 7, we realized there was an overarching theme, which was the desire to create space for Jewish joy despite the harsh realities of news headlines and words. Through it all, we remain committed to adding one more constant in students' lives, love. As president, I made my mission to ensure every student knows they matter, no matter your Jewish background, major, campus, or interests, reached or not reached, you belong. Every day, Hillel is a safe space to find light even in the darkest times, over a coffee chat, bagel break, or Shabbat. As I begin to conclude my presidency and look towards my future starting law school this fall, I think back to one of the first values I learned in 85, the importance of being a brother. Today, being a student at Hillel is more important than any leadership title in the world. At Hillel, we take pride in creating as many opportunities for Jewish students as possible. I guess I'm not the only president in ASU working towards the inclusion rather than exclusion. And similarly to ASU at Hillel, you become as you are, much like I did 3 years ago.
We all have the privilege to lead this organization where inclusion isn't just a value, it's our mission.
We've also had the privilege to learn from legacy leaders before us, like Dr. Pro and Mr. Lehman, and inspire many leaders to come.
We are deeply honored to be a part of the Hillel story. We invite you to join us in ensuring that future Jewish students at ASU have a safe, supportive home and community to call them for years to come. Thank you.
Please welcome the lovely ASU alumni, Hannah Austin.
Good evening, everyone. As you heard, my name is Hannah Osman. I graduated from ASU in 2015 and have spent the last 9 years living and working in Washington, D.C. Hillel at ASU was critical during my formative college years, and I flew all the way across the country today just to ask you for money. ASU is that important to me. My journey with Judaism wasn't always straightforward. After my bat mitzvah, it took a back seat and I felt disconnected from my identity. That all changed when my older brother encouraged me to explore Hillel and rediscover my roots, leading me to a vibrant community that felt like the missing piece in my life. Hillel became my home away from home, where I found pride in my Jewish identity, lifelong friendships, and the joy of being part of something greater than myself. What I didn't fully understand when I was a student at ASU was how Hillel prepared me not just to embrace my identity, but to become a leader in the Jewish community, the broader community, and in my career. Serving as a student member on the Hillel Board of Directors introduced me to connections that shaped my professional path. Through those relationships, I landed my first job in college, which ultimately led to my role today as a global manager at Amazon Web Services. In fact, it's largely because of you, President Crow, and your commitment to innovation that ASU is one of AWS's largest education partners in the world, even hosting a dedicated Cloud Innovation Center on campus. Together, ASU and AWS are driving groundbreaking solutions and creating a pipeline fostering future talent. And just as ASU fosters innovation and shapes future leaders through its partnership with AWS, Hillel plays a pivotal role in cultivating leadership, community, and purpose. As you've seen here tonight, Hillel empowers students to thrive, give back, and drive meaningful change long after they leave. When I was a student at ASU 11 years ago, there were 3 full-time Hillel staff and only a few student programs every semester. Today, there are 7 full-time staff, and there's at least 1 program per day. To all of you here tonight, whether you're a parent, an alum, or a community member, know your financial support truly matters. You create a safe and inclusive space where students like me and all the current students you've heard from tonight can thrive, find their people, and transform their lives. This is why your donations tonight are so vital. Now, I'm not shy by nature, and I'm not going to be shy with you right now. We've all heard the cliches. Out of 0, give till it hurts. I say, please give tonight a gift that's meaningful to you because it'll be meaningful to us. So everyone, please take out your phones, scan the QR code, or grab the donation envelope from your table, because in just a few minutes, our amazing Hillel students will be coming around to collect them. Let's show up for Hillel in a big way tonight. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for being part of this journey. It's because of each one of you, I can proudly say, my life and my career would not be the same without Hillel. We'll give you a moment to make your meaningful contribution, and Judy and Mark will be back up to conclude.